What's up, everybody? Late Night Keefe here at GhostColdMan.com headquarters here in the Bay Area. On mute. Okay, now I'm good. Holy shit. Off the rails already. Late night live stream here. Nothing really I could do about it, but I am here. I missed last week. I didn't want to miss this week. I technically have some plans tomorrow that would preclude me from doing the show any other time. Let me make sure I'm live on all the other things. Looks like we're live on the TikTok here and a few other things. Anybody tuning in late, I appreciate you. Night owls like myself. My fiance just posted an adorable little thing. We're doing kind of a countdown to our wedding this summer. 73 days, 74 days, 73 days. Holy cow. But she just posted this thing about taking naps together. And I'm a night owl and she isn't. So shit is wild. But I'm here. I'm making an effort. I appreciate anybody that's tuning in late to watch. If you're watching this on the replay, welcome. Ghost Cult is your 24/7, 365 rock and metal news source. And we do music news, interviews, music album reviews, festival and concert reviews all over the world. We have upcoming coverage of Roadburn Festival, Sick New World, and a bunch of other things. Yep, I'm having a Liquid Death at midnight. Awesome. Liquid Death just came out with this brand new flavor. I have this one from my fiance, Death Island, like a tropical iced tea, which I gotta say is really good. We have a lot to get through. Melissa's here watching. Love you, baby. Looking forward to some adventures with you this weekend and for the rest of our life. So, missed May the 4th. I did do a live stream that night. I have my Millennium Falcon Metallica Ride the Lightning mashup shirt and some other. Our thumbnail was my Star Wars thumbnail for the week. But yeah, I'll drop the tip menu in a bit. But, you know, basically we're here building a music community for metal fans, real metal fans, not people who see the garbage on social media, these click farm, clickbait things. We had our biggest interview of the year is with Neurosis, which is amazing. We have a bunch of other things coming up that honestly are blowing my mind. Barney Greenway of Napalm Death and Braun from Mastodon, along with Mark Mengi of King Ultra Mega. Undead 6991 is here. Ayel Mayo is here. What's up? What's up? Ghost in Me, West Virginia. What up? What up? Good to see ya. Thanks for watching. We're just doing some late night rock and metal news. Drumcast TV, welcome. I'm known to love a drummer or two. So yeah, let's get right into it. And we have a lot of show to cover, and then I'm going to collapse and go to sleep. We always start the show with the announcements, and we'll just embiggen this for the second. We just hit almost 2 million views on YouTube. This is 14 years of Ghost Cult, soon to be 15 years, and we got 1,900,000 views. And my partner in Ghost Cult, my co-owner Omar, said to me, well, like 1 million of those are mine. And I thought that was pretty funny because 1 million of those, I think, are almost 1 million of those are mine. But yay us. This is all the hard work. We're also on all the other socials. We'll tell you about that in a minute. But thanks if you're watching here on YouTube. Looks like a lot of you are here on the tube of you. Thank you. Again, Monday was May the 4th. Mandalorian and Grogu movie is coming out. Star Wars, Mandalorian and Grogu. I really hope it restarts the franchise. I am clearly a huge Star Wars nerd. I was putting away some laundry today, and I was like, man, I got a lot of Star Wars shirts to pick from. And I still love the original trilogy the most, but I'm very excited for this Star Wars movie. And to my fiance, I'm trying really hard not to just overwhelm you with nerd shit on a daily basis. I'm really restraining myself, and I'm hoping you enjoy being along for the ride. But if you don't, you can tell me and I won't be Just some things that we've been doing here at the site the last couple of weeks. We brought you the news that New York City sludge and doom band Guts is going to make a new record, or has made a new record, and is putting it out through the very excellent Silent Pendulum Records. This is the record label of So Hideous and Crypto Dyra and Seven Sons, friends of ours. Guts is a band we are very passionate about supporting, like most bands, just hardworking, doing everything right, making really true to themselves music. And I'm very much looking forward to their new album and hopefully doing an interview with them again. It's fun and you're enjoying it. Thanks, babe. I appreciate you. Also, we premiered my own Hell's new music and video. That was kind of fun. Their album is out. Their EP is coming out now. Today we premiered the new video for Kurt Deimer. Kurt Deimer is a horror movie actor breaking into rock music, and he's pretty phenomenal at it. Really great hard rock band, catchy but heavy, not soft, and not just like butt rock, octane butt rock. It's like really good music. A Grog is Born, his new album comes out tomorrow. We premiered the new single and video for True, and you can check that out on our site. He was awesome about sharing it. Also, we are still the media partners of many festivals, but Vakken Metal Battle Canada, the East Coast Finals is coming up soon, and our own Omar Cordy will be there as a host as well as a judge. And again, you have just a few days left. If you are anywhere near the LA area or you can make it to LA, definitely go ahead and check out our giveaway on our website, on our homepage, to win Echo and the Bunnymen tickets for their show at the Greek Theater. They're doing a career-spanning set. I don't know how many more tours some of these bands have in themselves. What's up, Bean? Hello to you, too. Sandra's here. Mags is here. What up, what up? And, yep, Beard Woodworks is here. Appreciate you all. Late Night Metal Talk. Let's talk about rock and metal news. So, yeah, we're giving away Echo and the Bunnymen tickets. More giveaways and stuff coming soon. We've just had a phenomenal year in terms of support from fans. And I want to give a little shout out. From time to time, we drop little, we do free music promotion to bands. If you subscribe to us on YouTube and you screenshot it and DM us on one of our platforms, we give bands little mentions in our YouTube interview videos. Some of the, our Neurosis video has 5,300 views. We're a small channel. We're still a small channel. But I do want to say that, we do try to help underground bands. We don't just talk about the butt rock bands. And I want to give a little shout out to the Anarchist Closet in Stroudsberg, PA. I have been a fan of many local businesses in that town. It's just a cool, Pennsylvania's got its ups and downs. It's not just Philly or Jersey South. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania's a cool state. It's got a lot of things going for it, especially culture. And they have great music venues where we're lucky enough to cover bands at Mr. Smalls and the Sherman Theater and the Wind River Creek Casino Theater. And I want to shout out the Anarchist Closet on Main Street in Stroudsburg, PA. Punk and metal culture, clothing, just fun things that really throw it back for me to my time growing up in New York City, like the East Village. Very bohemian, very pure of heart. They inspire and help a lot of artists in their community to produce works that end up at the store. But they're just, anything you need. I'm looking forward to going through there again. One of my favorite record stores is on the same street, Main Street Jukebox. You've heard me talk about them and shout them out before. So the Anarchist Closet on Facebook and on Instagram. Give them a follow. Check out some of their cool content and stuff about the stuff in the store. I don't know if they sell stuff online. I thought at one point they might have. Maybe they have an eBay store, and we will go back and link that in at some other point. But I'm looking forward to getting back east at some point this year or next and visiting that town and checking out the Anarchist Closet. So thanks for listening. I appreciate you. I'm just trying to help little businesses. If you got a small business or an underground band or a small record label or a clothing brand that does punk and metal things or goth things, hit us up. We'll promote you free, no strings attached. We just like people to follow us. It just shows a mutual respect. Wrote a big feature last week on the anniversary of the passing of Jeff Hanneman of Slayer, an iconic figure in thrash metal history. I was fortunate to see Jeff many times, some of his best and worst performances, but he really is, he was and still is in many ways the linchpin of Slayer, even though they're back doing shows. And Gary was his handpicked, Gary Holt of Exodus was his handpicked replacement if he couldn't go on, which is really nice. But, love Jeff Hanneman and I love Slayer. And I'm hoping to maybe catch them at some point again sometime soon. But I was very happy when they retired, and I had felt satisfied by seeing them 3 times in the last couple of years. And I had seen Slayer, like actually some of the most times I've ever seen. I've seen Metallica the most, like 45 times. I've seen Anthrax and Seven Dust 30-something times each. I think it's 33 times each, and Slayer about 30. So also passed away this week. I can't believe it's so long ago now, but it's MCA, Adam Yauch of Beastie Boys, a huge band in my formative years and still to this day. And, just a legend. And he did so much for the music industry and the film industry. And his fingerprints are still all over a lot of things in hip hop and movie making and indie film and everything. Also, David Allan Coe, very controversial figure, probably best known to our audience for doing a whole album with 3/4 of Pantera. David Allan Coe and the Cowboys from Hell, outlaw country artist. You see him here with his dime bag guitar. More on dime bag guitars in a little bit. He died this week. He was trying to be very edgy and outlaw the outlaw guys. He wanted to outlaw people. I know that's not proper English, but and he made a record that was extremely, he felt it was satire, but it was extremely in poor taste and racist and no ways around it. And even just a few years ago, he said, I know I'm never going to live down those racist songs and that racist album, and I really shouldn't have done that. I thought I was being funny, and I don't know what I was thinking. And, the New York Times even interviewed him to talk about it. Hey, at what point as a society do we ever forgive people? If people fuck up and they're just unforgivable, what is unforgivable? Murder? We've forgiven a lot of murderers, pedophiles. We have a pedophile in the White House doing nothing about him. So, while I liked David Allan Coe's music, I acknowledge that he's extremely, had some extremely shitty takes and views and some music at different points, and he's a very complicated guy, and I'm sure there's a lot of other people out there where people I love Varg Vikernes, who's horrible. We're on TikTok. He's on TikTok. He's one of the stars of fucking TikTok. It breaks my mind. He's a complete piece of shit. He's not that brilliant either. But okay, David Allan Coe, rest in peace, despite everything. We had a 78th birthday from Bill Ward of Black Sabbath. We just lost Ozzy less than a year ago, and Bill wrote a really lovely letter. I'll read part of it here. Hi, everyone. I am celebrating my 78th birthday today. To be honest, I never thought I'd see the day. Sometimes I felt I've led multiple lives, and upon reflection for a moment, perhaps I have. Today, upon writing this letter to you, my biggest task was to just adjust perfectly in a story to our youngest grandchild about how the moonlight dancing to and fro across the lake's ripples. Sometimes life can be more than extraordinary, and paying it forward is, to say at the least, an ambitious task. Lovely writing. Go check it out on his socials. Bill Ward, may you reign for many years, my friend. Jello Biafra has a health update. Again, one of my goals in life is to run into Jello Biafra here in San Francisco. Not physically hurt him, run into him, but actually just meet him. He's hugely inspirational to me. Jello is progressing nicely. His speech has mostly come back in full, and cognitively, it's like the stroke never happened. He had a very debilitating stroke just a couple of months ago. The left side is still weak, but it's doing much better. He has been living with me so I can care for him, but he is so much more self-sufficient than he was. He will most likely go home this coming week, so that's this week, and I hope so. In metal history, just a few Bone Mo's about metal history, if you're a fan. This week, we had Blessed Are the Sick from Morbid Angel come out, an iconic, classic Mount Rushmore of death metal albums, in my opinion. Testament, incredible album. We have some more Testament news coming up later. The New Order, I just got this 2026 reissue from Nuclear Blast. Cherry as fuck. I love it. Amon Amarth Berserker, solid album. Wasn't my favorite by them. I really don't re-listen to Amon Amarth as much as I used to, but I do love Joms Viking and the records before that. Okay. Queensryche's classic Operation Mindcrime, a recent podcast topic for one of my podcasts. Super cool. Also, Pantera, The Great Southern Trendkill. More Pantera news coming up soon, or Pantera-related news. This was a tremendous album for me in the mid-90s. At the Gates, I mean, you know, what can you say? I know we just lost Tompa, and we just lost Tompa, and I just got my new At the Gates record. It took a lot to listen to it just one time. I really need to spend more time with this record. It's great, but this is their throwback to their debut. Exodus, Atrocity Exhibition B, Exhibit B. This is probably the best of the Rob Dukes era albums so far, including the current one, Goliath, that just came out. But I love this record. Absolutely brutal and brilliant. And also on this date in history, Hotel California was the #1 song in 20 countries, back at a time when there was only vinyl and 8 tracks and cassettes and radio. I don't know why people hate the Eagles so much. There was a writer a couple of years ago who wrote a whole expose about why he hates the Eagles. It was pretty crazy. But here's Don Henley. I'm probably going to get sued out of existence just for showing this photo of Don Henley from the video of them playing Hotel California, like the, music video. So please don't sue me, Don. And let's do the live stream tip menu. If you're feeling tipsy, we do get some money from advertising. But as always, we will always answer your questions free. Everybody, especially on TikTok and the Gram, jump if you're up. Jump in the comments, ask questions, comment, challenge me if you think I got something wrong. I'm okay about it. Here's where you can tip us. And also you can get us buy us a super like or a super thanks if you're subscribed to us on YouTube. And here's our Cash App if you're feeling generous. But it's all good. I always do this show. It will forever be free. I am trying to build a membership up for our Substack and maybe do some private stuff there. Poppy is here. I hope it is the Poppy. I'm a huge fan. All right, time for some features. These are some major things we did the last week beside all those other things. Once again, we have an exclusive interview on our website with Zoe and Ashok Shmerda, formerly of Cradle of Filth. We had some Cradle of Filth tour news coming up with Suffocation. But yeah, Zoe and Ashok gave a lengthy lawyer-approved Q&A about their experience leaving Cradle and the new music they're working on now, especially Zoe's new album, Catalyst Crime, which is quite good. Symphonic metal, if that's your thing. Also, I did a live stream this last week. Jason Newsted gave a new interview to Dean Del Rey. You should check out the Let There Be Talk podcast. He's brilliant. For a guy who wasn't a journalist in the first place. Phantom Cadavers here. What up, D2. Neil Dyer, Austin. So Jason, 2 major takeaways, and you can go watch or check out our website story or watch my live stream. But the 2 major things is Jason had cancer and he beat it. He's free and clear. Thank goodness. We don't want to lose any more rock soldiers. I talk about this all the time. And then, I think Metallica has been spinning the narrative about how he was kicked out around Sound Some Kind of Monster 24 years ago, 23 years ago. He quit 25 years ago, so now he's feeling free to talk about it. And I think they've been spinning a narrative that is not true about why he left Metallica. And to me, I was even more mad. Forget about the bass not being heard. I was mad about other things. But anyway, we love Jason here. I'd love to interview him sometime. He is coming on tour soon. We have his tour dates to share with you soon. Also, we talked about Slayer and their headline shows and how they sold out, just like Metallica's things sold out very quickly. But hoping they'll add some more Slayer shows. I do believe Riot Fest is going to get announced either tomorrow or early next week, and I wonder if Slayer is not one of the headliners there. Big interviews this week here on our podcast and YouTube. We interviewed Cryptic Shift. Anytime you start an interview talking about how great Cynic and Death are, and progressive metal and technical death metal, you know it's going to be a good interview. I chatted with them. Phenomenal. Their new album's out now. And also my partner Omar talked to Frozen Chad of Frozen Soul. They're on tour right now with Avatar and a bunch of other bands, which is really killer. Great band. They have a new EP out now. They have a new song with Rob Flynn. Rob Flynn is everywhere. Rob Flynn is my favorite DJ, which is a shirt that I'd like to get from the Martyr store, Jamie Josta. Just some other things you might have missed. I interviewed Chris Naughton of Winter Phylith. Their new album, An Undying Season, is one of the best black metal albums of this year, out now on Napalm Records. Also, my new interview with Ultrasun is out. You can check that out. They have some tour dates we'll talk about in a bit. And, of course, this show is a podcast. Our podcast is wherever you listen to podcasts. If you don't have time to find me once a week and watch this show live, I wish you could. But if you can't, and you prefer to do your chores or, get ready for school or work or drive or commute, you can listen to our podcast. We have a lot of exclusive stuff over on the podcast, not just rehashes of everything. And because I don't have enough to do, I am the co-host of the Glacially Musical Podcast, Beer, Metal, and Swearing. We are back as a trio with Don DeLamont, and we are continuing our series on the Bon Scott era of AC/DC. It sure is an eye-opener. I'll say that. And now it's time for the news rundown. And as always, we talk about metal festivals. And we have just a bit of festival news to share. Like I said, we have festival reviews coming in the next week to the site. I just love this thing anyway. This is, I'm going to tell my kids this picture of Erica Kirk was Mortis. Anyway, funny things make me laugh. Metal festivals, let's go. Shiprock got announced for 2027. One of these years, I'd like to go to this festival, this cruise. I like to go on a cruise in general. I used to work in the luxury cruise industry, and I got laid off before I was able to go on a cruise after I made $10 million for my boss in a quarter. Hard to believe. But Papa Roach, Ice Nine Kills, nothing more. Fuck them. Highly Suspect, Bad Flower, Set It Off, and a bunch of other bands. The Stowaways, All-Star Crew. Shiprock sells out every year. It's one of the best run things in music and vacations. Pretty damn cool. Rockville already kicked off today with Guns N' Roses, and unfortunately, Five Finger Death Punch and Ice Nine Kills and Awesomely Death Clock. The rest of the weekend has Foo Fighters, Turnstile, Bring Me the Horizon, My Chemical Romance, A Day to Remember, Breaking Benjamin, Simple Plan, Avatar, and more. Architects are on there. Wild. Zakk Wylde has announced a new version of his Berserkist Fest. This actually looks really great. Co-headlined by Lamb of God and Black Label Society on 2 dates. August 28th at Montage Mountain, again in Scranton, Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania area, and August 29th at Jones Beach Theater. Down, Suicidal Tendencies, Zach Sabbath, and Dark Chapel will all support, with more bands added soon. A Ride for Dime, Hot Sauce Eating Contest, Car Show, cover band, tribute bands. Coming up this weekend, tomorrow, Saturday, Sublime and Slightly Stupid are playing the Sublime Festival, Sublime Me Gusta Festival. It's interestingly named. Taking place, guess where, in Fort Worth, Texas. Sublime new album out. I'm pumped for it. Suns Up Proxy is here. Metal Forever is here. Bubba's here. Anthony, what's up? What's up? What's up? Sonic Temple. This is next weekend. We are pretty excited for this. The Fall of Adam is here. Chucky Brown, Hood TV. What up, son? Good to see you. PMF is here also. Good to see you. I'll try to pop back in on the gram if anybody's still watching. Feel free to join the convo. Always free to support Ghost Cult. Sonic Temple is next weekend. My Chem, Shine Down, Bring Me the Rising Tool, Breaking Benjamin, Offspring, Marilyn Manson, Megadeth, Simple Plan, Story So Far, Architects, Dayseeker, Behemoth, Zach Sabbath. Looks like fun. Also, just announced Riot on Fremont Street, May 22nd and 23rd. I was talking to my fiance about this earlier. I do believe Punk Rock Bowling is not happening this year. It's supposed to come back for next year. So there's kind of a fun little punk event happening in a couple of weeks. Memorial Day weekend. Milwaukee Metal Fest has announced their pre-party on Thursday, June the 4th, co-headlined by Amur and Josta and Friends, featuring an all-star cast of metal heroes and probably many more. I'm really stoked for this. We're coming out to cover this. I've been to Wisconsin. I've never been to Milwaukee. So I'm finally going to see Acid Bath again after like 20 years. Killswitch Engage, one of my favorite bands, Ministry, Napalm Death, John Bush doing Anthrax, Obituary, Suicidal, Power Trip, Machine Head, Agalock doing multiple sets, Death Angel, Incantation, Psycho Myco solo, which he rarely does, Pallbearer, just unbelievable. I'm finally going to see Macabre, which has been like a bucket list death metal, old school death metal band for me. I've never seen Macabre, even back in the Milwaukee Metal Fest days. Chucky, what up, brother? Great to see you. I hope you're well. Once again, as I said the last time you popped into our feed, if you've got anything going on, shows you want to promote, friends, bands, putting out records, just DM me or Omar, holler at us, and we will help promote them and you always, brother. Always a pleasure. All right. What else? We just had the Decibel Metal and Beer Fest. The next one is Denver at the Fillmore, Down and Suicidal Tendencies, and more to be announced. Those are your two headliners. That looks hella cool. I don't know about Denver in December. It seems really cold and snowy, but it's tempting. Never been. Only been through Denver at the airport. Maryland Death Fest is a couple of weeks away. It is the 21st anniversary of the festival, and it is just stacked with talent. Oh my God, Whiplash is playing. God. The Crown, Batushka, whichever one that is, Destruction, Old Man's Child. First North American show ever. Second will be at Fire in the Mountains. Satan Fest. Someday I will go to Iceland, perhaps for Satan Fest in a future year. Sign, Dima Strip Show, Hamford, The Haunted, Voivod. Just unbelievable talent in the black metal scene, both locally to Iceland and regionally in Scandinavia. All right, that's all the festivals. Let's quickly go through the concerts. There are many to talk about. Concert tours, again, the Slayer shows are all sold out. I believe Slayer will probably get added to Riot Fest or at least one more thing between September and the fall, the end of the fall, those November shows. A Monclock tour continues. Coverage is up on our site right now. A pretty incredible tour. I'm really happy for Castle Rat. Whatever it looks like for them to, open that tour and have success. Yorkshire Explorer is here. Always, Chucky. Always. You are a bro. Also, Pussifer's Normal Isn't tour continues with opening support from comedian and musician Dave Hill. I am going on Monday with my fiance. I cannot wait. It's going to be an awesome time at the Golden Gate Theater in San Francisco. The Godless 4 tour continues. Behemoth, Deicide, Rotten Christ, Immolation. Our review is live on the site right now. I also saw this tour. It was incredible. Gore announced another big tour. They're just going hard. Gore Must Die is the new Gore tour. Hopefully, we will cover yet another Gore experience and tour. Looking to get an interview soon with someone from the band. Archspire is headed to their European vacation tour. The brutal technical death metal band is getting back overseas this summer. Fozzy has announced the Twisted Faith tour with Spineshank, Flaw, and I can't make out who that is. But looks like Florida for Welcome to Rockville was today. Charlotte, and a bunch of other southeastern cities. So good for them. I hope they can. I'd love to go see Spineshank. I haven't seen them in so long. 25 years possibly. Wednesday 13, the Shocktober Blood Tour with Dead on Sunday. We love Wednesday 13 here. It goes called Interviewed Him Before. It's one of our most watched videos on YouTube, is my interview with Wednesday. He is a killer artist. Dying Fetus and Sangusa Gabog, say that 10 times fast, have announced a co-headline tour with Crowbar and a bunch of illegible named bands. I can't read these logos, but that looks like Crowbar is just fucking everywhere right now, and I'm here for it. I'm so happy. All That Remains kicked off their tour with Born of Osiris, and they've had some lineup issues. They have a fill-in drummer from Allegion on drums, and Mike Martin had to step out for a tour, so Emil Wurstler, formerly of Doth, and Chimera is now on tour with All That Remains. Never really got their mojo back after Ollie Herbert died, a guy I loved and interviewed before. But, best of luck. Again, Guts, we talked about their new album deal with Silent Pendulum Records from New York City, and now they are kicking off a tour this June with Rosie and the Rat Dogs, Upper Darby, PA, Richmond, Greenville, Athens, Birmingham, Alabama, Chattanooga, Louisville, Cincinnati, Indy, Chicago, and Pittsburgh. And by the way, I know I'm American, but I'm always going to say Birmingham like Birmingham, like England, because that's what I do. Alabama, you should be honored. Napalm Death just announced an early 2027 tour, somewhat disappointing with Master, even though they're great. Maybe who they tour with is not always great. And Brat, who recently had their guitarist and co-vocalist and their vocalist wed. Blacktop Mojo is in the middle of their Texas Checkmate Leg 1 of their tour, and they just announced some more dates this summer. So they are road dogging it all through Texas and the whole Southeast and looks like a little bit of the Midwest. So that's cool. Love those guys. Body Count. We have some more Body Count news coming up soon, but Body Count is playing Sonic Temple next week, headlining Camp Pennsylvania, playing at Rockfest, Wisconsin, Brutal Assault in Czech Republic, Alcatraz Festival in Belgium, headline date in Tilburg, Bloodstock Festival, which we always cover, and I expect we'll cover again, a headline show in France, a festival in Portugal. Boy, I really can't read this flyer. And Aftershock in Sacramento, which I may return to again. We shall see. I got to move, and I'm getting married this summer. Elder, whose new album is coming soon, is announced a European and UK tour. We will hopefully get out and cover them. We are looking to nail down an Elder interview soon. I'm a big fan of the band. This is Floyd Nation sitting outside of Abbey Road Studios. They just put the finishing touches on their new album. They've been releasing some original music, and their new upcoming album also has a complete album performance of Wish You Were Here by Pink Floyd. We have some stuff going on with them soon. Stay tuned. Not just an ordinary tribute band, an exceptional one. Murloc is here. What's up, Murloc? The Crosses is a band, basically a tribute band to D. Crutzen. We just reviewed their new album, and they are playing a bunch of dates, including some Midwest and West Coast dates with the Dazzling Killmen, who I think are on their label. They are playing Milwaukee Metal Fest. I will do my best to see them. I'm stoked. There's the Jason Newsted tour dates we were talking about. Jason Newsted and the Chop House Band. They are doing some headline dates starting July 1st. as well as opening for Blackberry Smoke. That is super cool. Good for Jason. I would love for him to bring back the thrash metal band Newstead. That was the shit. But he's got to follow his heart, right? Moving along. Seven Dust and Theory of a Dead Man have announced a co-headline tour. I think this is the first time they're going to tour together. The Theory of a Dead Man was broken up for a long time, but Seven Dust and Theory of a Dead Man have toured together maybe in like 2002, and now again, killer young band Return to Dust, who we've interviewed, is opening. So that's a fun tour. They just got done touring with Atreyu. New Seven Dust album 1 out now. I have my copy. Ricky Rackman is doing his One Foot in the Gutter, an evening with spoken word storytelling thing. It's not really getting out to Northern Cali, but I do believe he's getting to the West Coast this summer. He's getting in the van. I'm here for it. Or he's going to ride on his motorcycle. I'm not sure. Today is the Day announced a killer tour this spring and summer. New Today is the Day album is awesome. Also, Steve Austin of Today is the Day has his Outlaw Country album out now. Bourgeois, the sludge band from outside of Philly that I'm a huge fan of. You might sometimes see my hat that says, "Maybe I'm a bird." I don't know what the significance. I mean, next time I interview them, I have to ask about that. What the fuck is this hat about? Maybe I'll have them autograph it. So they're kicking off a West Coast tour, and they are playing San Francisco the week after my wedding on a Sunday matinee. I don't know. Maybe we'll go do it. They're playing a Kilowatt Bar, a fun punk rock bar. All right. Ginger's tour is already, I believe, coming soon with Crystal Lake and Entheos, and Entheos has a bunch of other tour dates too. Ultrasun already added new dates. Another U.S. run later this year. Allison Parker, what's up? Roberto Duran. You have Manos di Piedra, Hands of Stone. But Ultrasun, go check out my interview with them on the channel, on YouTube. A lot of fun. Uncle Acid and the Deadbeats announced a whole bunch of tours and festivals. I'm really stoked about this. They also have new music coming out. They put out a new single that was like their first new song in 10 years, and almost 10 years, and the single 7-inch sold out in like a minute. I was so mad. Already had that flyer. Did these. Metal for the Masses grand finale is coming everywhere. Again, this is the Metal for the Masses to Battle for Bloodstock. These festivals and battles of the bands happen all across England. This one is for Scotland, May 23rd. Solar Suns and Nothing Speaks, two great bands, are competing along with the guest headliners and the finalists. So those bands are not those other bands, King Nobody and Chekhov's Gun, I know, and Lupine Rain, I know also. Boba Freak is here. What's up, Boba Freak? Dayseeker tour with Northlane. We got some Northlane news coming up soon. Again, Mortis again. Just a quick shout out to Fable Beard, one of our affiliate partners. Here's my Fable Beard, the Barkeep. This is why my beard looks this good. If you want to look cool like I do, hit the link in the description, and you get $10 off your first order, and we get free merch. So thanks. Also, whenever you see ads on our website at ghostcultmag.com, that's through our partnership with Lamb Goat. Lamb Goat is the much meaner version of Ghost Cult, and we're here for it. And if you need some advertising, Lamb Goat can help you. We also do some ads. You can check us out. And again, my homie Craig Caruso keeps all the behind-the-scenes stuff running, and lucky for me. So let's see. StreamYard, we're also here we're on all the socials. We have a newsletter, all the things. I'll put myself back on the screen so you can see me. Sign up for our newsletter. We're going to start sending out free stuff. We're going to do some exclusive things, launch a thing. I know I've been talking about it for months, but it's actually happening soon. This is great. Nobody appreciates my love for Def Leppard like my 4 sons. Glunter, Gleben, Glauben, Glupen. That's not how the words go, but that's just what I like saying. Kinetic Purge, welcome back. We haven't seen you in a while. And the Falconer, PDX is here. What's up? Not too bad. 40 minutes. Let's blast through the rest of this show. Time for the news rundown. This was a bit of a surprise. Dean Guitars has been in a lawsuit with the estate of Dimebag Darrell. And a judge in Florida ruled that Dean can continue to use two of the Dimebag Darrell designs, basically, so far in perpetuity, the Razorback, the very popular Razorback, and the Stealth guitar designs, and its intellectual property. There are two other claims of trademark infringement and fraud that are still going, but the original claims are covered under the ruling. And it's interesting. We're pretty friendly with Rita Haney, Dimebag's partner and the caretaker of part of the Pantera legacy. And I know they were hoping for a different ruling in this. So I wish them luck. We'll see what happens. There's more court stuff to come as a result of all this. Super interesting, though. Also, Bush, if you want to feel old, Bush is celebrating the 30th anniversary of their second album, Razorblade Suitcase, with a deluxe vinyl edition as well as a remastered versions of all those songs. And they put out a single and visualizer for Swallowed, the big hit song you may remember was the first song played at Woodstock 99 after shit went sideways during Limp Bizkit. Anyway, Live Nation, we've been covering this story off and on for weeks. A jury found Live Nation absolutely guilty of shitting the bed in the music concert ticket industry and misleading and overcharging fans and creating these false markets. I don't think anything's going to happen to them. I'm still going on that. But the ruling was interesting, to say the least. It does open up. Other states are going to have trials. I don't think, again, getting vouchers doesn't do it for me. I want real change in the business. I don't care about $2 off on my concert tickets. In case you missed it, if you were living under a rock, King Ultra Mega is the Chris Cornell Soundgarden Temple of the Dog tribute group that is working on a series of covers that will eventually be released as one full album on Reigning Phoenix Music. It is spearheaded by Mark Mengi of Metal Allegiance and a couple of other bands, and they put out an incredible cover of the solo Chris Cornell song Dead Wishes, sung by Bron Dollar of Mastodon. I got to interview them. That's coming soon. Stay tuned in the next few weeks. It was mind-blowing how good that interview was and how much fun it was, and how deep it was, and how sensitive those guys are about paying tribute to Chris. The Burning Ambition documentary about Iron Maiden is out today. It's already had its world premiere. It was globally, watched in movie theaters today. I am going on Saturday. I'm dragging my fiance to see the Iron Maiden documentary. She likes Iron Maiden a bit. It should be a fun time. Anytime I've seen some of these things, when they do the music, the fans go nuts, sing along, headbang. It's going to be a crowd. It's going to be fun. And then we're going to run around San Francisco and have some fun. But I'm looking forward to seeing that. Alisa White Glutes is in the news quite a lot lately. Late last year, she departed Arch Enemy after 14 years, replaced by Lauren Hart, formerly of Once Human. She launched her own band called Blue Medusa after putting out a solo single under her own name. She just last week joined Savage Lands, which is the thrash and metal collective led by Dirk Verbeuren of Megadeth, and is meant to save the Costa Rican land, the rainforest, and she's very passionate about the environment and ethical treatment of animals and such. And now she has joined Dragon Force as the co-lead vocalist. I'll be honest with you, the press release wasn't great. It didn't really emphasize that the existing singer is still in the band, but it does highlight that she has joined that band. She's brilliantly talented. I've said some true and not great things in the past about my interactions with her, but she's brilliant, right? There's no way around that. I just don't know if Dragon Force is going to be for her specifically. I was kind of over that band 10, 15 years ago. But, you know, I can't imagine being on stage every night and having to sing those songs. I'd be irritated as fuck. Thanks for those watching on the Ghost Cult main channel. We also have a Ghost Cult live channel on YouTube, as well as my channel, Ghost Cult Keefe. Tune in and check it out. What else? What else? Korn dropped the music video for their song off the Diablo Immortal. What are they up to? I used to play Diablo 1, 2, and 3 religiously. And if I didn't stop gaming, I would never leave the house. But super cool for Korn to put out their first new music in a long time. And we did get a bit of a revelation. I don't think I got to talk about this. That Fieldy did an interview with Rockfeed. And they're at Welcome to Rockville, because I think that guy is based in Florida. And, you know, I like their stuff. I like him. He talked to Fieldy, and Fieldy admitted for the first time ever that the reason he left Korn the first time is they were going to come back too soon from COVID, and he didn't want to get vaccinated. So that's disappointing, but his prerogative. I don't want to tour. These guys are going out there. I don't believe in the virus, but I also don't want to get vaccinated, and I don't want to go on tour anymore because of this virus. Okay. And he has not even talked to them except through lawyers since then. That sucks, because they were best friends, right? They all grew up together, at least some of those guys. And then Fieldy said, you know, I would never close the door on coming back. I'm very proud of my time in Korn, but also I've never talked to them again. And it's going on 6-7 years now. So that's fucked. But okay. Also in the news, Flotsam and Jetsam is coming out with a new album this summer. Hey, Snake River Conspiracy is here. I'm a huge fan. Let's do an interview about Mojave Phone Booth and Snake River Conspiracy, if this is the band themselves. I'm such a fan. I will talk to your publicist, maybe. This is just randomly interesting. Mel Brooks, at like 99 years old, is making a sequel to Spaceballs, and Dom DeLuise's son, Peter DeLuise, you might remember him if you're a Gen X kid, from 21 Jump Street, as the co-lead with Johnny Depp. And he is going to play Pizza the Hut in place of his dad that passed away. So I think that's adorable. Ice-T, one of these pictures is Ice-T's, the artwork for his upcoming album, Criminal Migraine. And the other picture is me with Ice-T right before the pandemic at the Carnivore listening party at Sony headquarters in New York City. What a time to be alive. I got to talk to him for a couple of minutes and talk about hip-hop and talk about the Bronx and the contrast between the Bronx and Compton and South Bronx rappers, and his opinion on who his favorite rappers are. He asked me who my favorite rapper was. I said, well, beside you, KRS-One. And he was like, word. And I also met Coco that night. She was really nice, and they had the baby with them at the time. She was a lot younger than now, obviously, but boy, 2000 was like 2020 was like a lifetime ago, and 2000 seems like ancient history. But new Ice-T solo rap album, hip hop album. I'm here for it. He hasn't had a proper solo hip hop album in 20 years. And also, Body Count continues to tour. We talked about their festivals and headline tours. Just a little shout out to Craig Worden of Shudder to Think. Shudder to Think is a band that I was hugely into in my college days. And I met them once back in the day. I was a big fan, really the progenitors of post-hardcore, pre-emo, kind of musical theater inspired hardcore, if you will, and able to write soundtracks and scores. They were on the Velvet Goldmine soundtrack for 2 songs that you might well know, music fans and musical fans and glam rock fans. And he has a new solo album, which is the deluxe version of his recent solo album. And we have an interview coming up with Craig I'm really proud of. And he was really a great guy. This is just wow. This picture, I'm going to blow this up for a minute. This image has been exploding the internet with anger. Horny Metal Night. I can't remember where this is taking place, but it's the picture of Sleep Token, and it sounds like Bad Omens, Dayseeker, Typo Negative, him, Acid Bath, Sleep Token, Spirit Box, and Deftones. I mean, it's definitely an attention-getting flyer. If you wanted to piss people off and get them to check you out, hey, Tito, what up, brother? How was Sick New World? Velez Plague 213 is here. JMC 2022 is here. But yeah, like this flyer fucking pissed the whole internet off, man. TikTok, Twitter, Threads, Blue Sky, wherever this thing popped up, people were fuming. Like acid bath. All right, typo negatives you could claim is extremely, baby making music and horny and sad, and him is very romantic. I don't think of him as overtly sexual, but like very romantic and mood music. But acid baths, a lot of songs about necrophilia and betrayal and murder. Not really romance. And Sleep Token, clearly horny. Spirit Box, a lot of music about overcoming personal problems and emotional issues and misogyny and things like that. Not really. I mean, yes, there are definitely some beautiful parts to their songs. I don't think of them as horny music. You definitely could have come up with some other bands. And Deftones, of course, are the horniest band ever. Maybe ever. Like, these guys need to jerk off much more than they have been because, hey, Chino. All right. System of a Down, headline Sick New World. Co-headline Sick New World with Korn last weekend. We have coverage of that coming soon. Darren Melkonian from the stage made us like one of the lamest fucking speeches ever. On one hand, he's like, don't let the government decide you, like divide you if you want to be left or you want to be right or you want to be in the middle. It's cool. It's like don't talk anymore about politics, bro. Leave it to Surge. And maybe, Chavo is into gaming and weed and his other bands. And like, dude, no one likes a centrist. You're just a bitch. There's good people on both sides. Stop being, if you've sold out your ideals and you don't want to be politically motivated anymore or stick to your original ideals, just be quiet, bro. You have nothing to say. You have nothing I want to hear, basically. It's too bad because, I really have come around on that band. I should do a whole live stream on bands I used to hate that I like and bands that I still hate. That'd be a fun couple of live stream topics. Hey. Spirit Adrift, just a reminder, they jumped on the Cryptopsy-led Decibel magazine tour. The band is disbanding after their upcoming new and farewell album. I pre-ordered mine. I love Nate from that band, and I might have to just go see. I keep missing Cryptopsy anyway, and it's a killer tour, but especially just to make sure I catch what probably is the farewell tour for Spirit Adrift. This book is coming out soon. Chuck Billy's debut memoir. I'm here for this, man. I love the Gary Holt memoir. Chuck is a contemporary of Gary. We really don't have any memoirs we have biographies of Metallica, but we don't have any history books on them. And, Chuck has a very unique and interesting experience based on growing up as a Native American in the Bay Area and the thrash metal scene. So Holding My Breath, the Two Testaments of Chuck Billy, co-written with Dave Erickson. So that's coming out soon. The foreword is by Rob Halford of Judas Priest. And the afterword is by Randy Bly of Lamb of God. Very killer stuff. I'm looking forward to reading that. Also, a lot of books coming out soon. Let's see, what else is coming out soon? This is super interesting. Omar did this story. The Ghost Inside was profiled by Pearl Drums. You know that the Ghost Inside had a horrible van accident about 7 years ago that almost killed the band. And their drummer lost his leg. My former drummer of one of my bands is in the thread there on the gram, Tito. And so Pearl developed this technology, this new kind of drum pedal with him, so he could continue to play fast double bass and punk rock and kind of thrashy punk rock. So it's called the Hammer, and Andrew Tazik is the drummer. Hope I said that correctly. The 2015 bus accident. So it's now 11 years ago. And one of the most remarkable stories of resilience in modern heavy music, how they developed the Hammer pedal to work with his prosthesis. He does not have an actual prosthetic leg. He has kind of like a nub. I don't know if he also walks with a leg, but it's a it's kind of like the double beater. And it's very innovative. You should check it out. You can watch them play. There's tons of videos online of him testing it out and showing it. And what a remarkable person. I'm so glad they're okay. And they survived their injuries and continue to play. Another book I really need to bear down on my reading list, but also Eugene Hutz of Gogol Bordello is putting out his debut book and memoir, forward by Thurston Moore, Lost Innocent World, Chronicles of Ukrainian Punk Rocker in the Free World. Very interesting stuff. I'm sure he's going to be brilliant. He's always a very smart and brilliant guy. Speaking of books, one of our mentors here at Ghost Cult is Michael Anthony Alago. You might know him as the guy who signed Metallica to Elektra Records in 1984, who discovered White Zombie. I'm going to tell you that I saw White Zombie in the Continental Club in 1989, and they were not good at all. And then 3 years later, Woven in the Surface, a premonition of a land erupting. Yeah, so fuck it. This guy deserves a medal. He is, again, wonderful. We've got many interviews with him, exclusive content he shared with us about Metallica, and photos nobody else has seen, Polaroids he has. He is coming out with his new book. Michael has, in addition to his lengthy career in the music industry as an A&R rep, has his fourth monograph, Polaroid Encounters, 1998 to 2009, now available from Shining Life Press. If you like pictures of shirtless men in New York City, this is for you. Michael is a brilliant photographer and still has a great ear for metal. And, we should talk to him about that soon. I wonder if he'll come to San Francisco for like a book signing or something, and I can go meet up with him. Nunslaughter dropped a new single. We know their new album is coming out from their new deal with Black to Black. Nunslaughter, kind of a side band, like a similar band to Midnight from the same area. Killer band. Motorheady metal, basically. Heavier Motorhead. I'm a big fan of vinyl reissues. There's already been a bunch of banger ones this year. Last year, I was talking about the Danzig ones every other week. December Underground, probably the best album by AFI, A Fire Inside, is getting the 20-year, oh my God, we're so old, the 20-year reissue treatment. I have not decided if I'm going to buy this yet, but I might. I do have the Halloween EP. Down, speaking of reissues, is also putting out their reissue of Down 3, A Bustle in Your Hedgerow, to quote Stairway to Heaven, remastered for 26. Pre-orders are up now. Also, this was another interesting month. I mean, like so many bands have announced new albums. This is what is it? It's Swim the Current with our friend George Pond. And so this is a really interesting story. They just put out a new song called Already Dead, and their debut album is coming out, Lone Star Empire. And they were on tour in Japan, and George had a heart attack in Japan. And I believe he is still recovering. He might even still be in Japan. I don't know if he's made it back yet. But if there's a GoFundMe or anything, we'll let you know. Swim the Current is mostly made of Texas rockers. Marcos Leal, formerly of Shattered Sun and El Nino, is the vocalist. George on bass, Joe Gary on lead guitar, Greg Antine on rhythm guitar, Chris Moore from George Lynch and Ultraphonics on drums. So we're looking forward to that debut album. But I'm a big George fan, and I'm rooting for you, buddy. Please get well soon. He's also part of Disciples of Verity with Corey Glover and Corey Pierce of God Forbid. Other bands with new Into Eternity has a reissue coming out, their 20th anniversary vinyl reissue of their album Timeless Winter, but they're also working on a brand new album. Of course, our man Stu Block is the vocalist and originally came from Into Eternity, and that he used to be in Iced Earth, which fuck that noise. always. But anyway, so let's see what else. We're at the 1 hour mark. I'm going to try to finish this up soon. North Lane released a brand new single, Avion. They're on that tour with Dayseeker. Big fans of North Lane, the Australian metalcore band. I've interviewed them a few times. Oliver Bridges is the frontman, comic book collector, horror movie nerd, and great vocalist and screamer. And looking forward to a whole new North Lane album. They've kind of taken their band DIY and indie, which is super interesting in this day and age. Speaking of reissues, Kerry King is putting out his debut album yet again a year and a half later, From Hell I Rise, with demos and things. If you ever wanted to hear Kerry King's vocals on demo versions of songs, this is your chance. I believe I might be getting this sent to me to unbox and share, so I will make a video when that happens. Also, this is another book I need to get. This is technically a 2025 book, but this is No New York, a memoir of No Wave and the Women That Shaped the Scene by Adele Berthe. And I'm very interested in checking this thing out. So I do love my music history books. And I'm a sucker for music history because I had studied musicology in college. Just a reminder, this is always a good time to punch a Nazi, just in case you were not sure. This is your reminder. Okay, New Music Friday, and I fail at this section of the show just about every week. But let's see what's happening here. Hold on one second. I'll try to play some music from New Music Friday. I do sometimes fail. It doesn't always work, but we're going to give it a shot. In 1 second. Every week we preview the new rock and metal albums coming out. It's up to you to apply yourself. People tell me they don't hear any good new bands or anything. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. This is just not possible at all. Let's check this out. I don't think I'm going to get flagged for this band, but you never know. It's a puzzlement. It's an absolute fucking puzzlement. But here we go. I'm going to do it. I'm going to play some of this stuff. All right. Here we go. Cyborg Zero is the band with their new albums coming out. Mean New World is the official video. No, that's not the new one. Let's see. Do we have new music online? Did I pick wrong? I might have picked wrong. Well, here's the trailer for their album. Oh, yeah, here we go. Cyborg Zero, School, official music video, episode 1, part 1. This looks like a fun animated video. Let's see if it's any good. I'm gonna find out. Bum ba-dum 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 bum. Ba-da-dum bum 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 bum. All right, let's listen to this for a minute. Fun and funky, Go Down Records. Erica Errante Bartholdi directed this. Fun. Well, that video was definitely fun. I think this reminds me a lot of James Gang. All right, I'm going to now read the New Music Friday list and tell you what to pick up. But you can go to Ghost Cult's site and get all your records. Really quick, just run through of things. 2 again, coins, currency, tokens, and other related objects EP on Days Records for some punchy hardcore. Randall Patton, what up, what up? Abuser, Blood Marks on Extreme Music for some death metal. Barato, No Comply on Supernatural Cats Records. That's the record label owned by Ufa Mammoot. Beyond the Sticks, Divid, Inner Strength Records for some death metal. Black Orchid Empire Lore on Year of the Rat Records for some progressive metal. Black Veil Bride's new album, Vindicate, on Spine Farm Records, featuring a lot of guest appearances, including Rob Flynn of Machine Head. Cyborg Zero on Go Down Records, fun. Dark Throne's new album, Prehistoric Metal, on Peaceville Records. Maybe I'll do a review of that for Monday if I can get to listen to it over the weekend. Endless Floods, Passages, Permafrost Records, Exploding Head Syndrome, Deathbeds, Besses Records, The Family Men, Codetermination on Welfare Sounds Records, The Flatliners, great punk rock band, Cold World on Equal Vision and Dine Alone Records, A Forest of Stars, the great UK black metal band, black metal folk band, Stack Overflow in Chorus Pile Interface, on Prophecy Productions, the new EP from Frozen Soul, No Place of Warmth on Century Media Records, Gadget for some more hardcore coerced EP on Denial Records, Harm's Rebirth of the Cold on Time to Kill Records, cute. Haggard Cat, The Pain That Orbits Life on Church Road Records for some black metal, Eot, Etheric Realms of the Night on Black Lion Music for some black metal, Ingested with their new lineup, Denigration on Metal Blade Records, Kurt Dimer. We premiered the video today, but the album A Grog is Born on his own Boltman Records. Lauren Lackus, Deadlights on Riding Easy Records. Old Moon, Home to Nowhere on M Theory Recordings. Panopticon, band I love tremendously from West Virginia. De Hezemer de Hirjate, in Rune Recordings. Hope I said that right. Restless Spirit, self-titled on Magnetic Eye Records. They're doing a co-headline tour with our friends in Gozu. Sasa 6, Brutalist on Sumerian Records. Scarab, Transmutation of Fate EP on Brutal Records. The new album by Social Distortion, Born to Kill, Epitaph Records. Telok Voven for some extreme black metal from New York, Towards the Inevitable, an Eastern Temple record. Terra Maze, The Silent Architect on Wells Music. Trip Villain from New York, Dose, Seeing Red Records. Torchia, They Are Born Under the Rules of Darkness on Rockshots Records. Void Throne, Dreaming Rat, self-released. Who on Earth, the rock band It Takes a Village. Yothaira, Gone with the Devil on Metal Blade Records. And Zazara, and You Will Remember This Winter EP, self-released. Okay, and now it's time for the mailbag. Let's see, the mailbag. I have quite a lot to get through, so I'm going to just do this pretty quickly. Last weekend was comic book day, free comic book day in the U.S., and I attended an awesome comic book store, my favorite comic book store, Waterfront Comics, in Suisun City, California, in the Northeast Bay area. And I saw my good friend John, who is the proprietor of that store, and I got a bunch of free comics, and I bought some Funkos. Silent Bob here with the camera, because kind of I am Silent Bob in a lot of ways. I love Kevin Smith and Kevin Smith movies. They mean a lot to me. And this they had kind of a table outside with these slightly damaged boxes. But here's Jaws from the James Bond movies. Richard Kiel, the great James Bond villain. So I picked these Funkos up to add to my voluminous Funko collection. Now, on to some other things. Oh, I lost my key light. Good timing, but not really. I knew it was going to go out sooner or later. I'll just bring this guy right over here so you can see me unbox these things. I got the new Sepultura Farewell EP, the Unknowing. So got a t-shirt and vinyl EP deal here. Pretty reasonable price in my size. Might wear this tomorrow right out the box. So here's the Sepultura. It's not opened yet, but it's the strictly limited edition red transparent vinyl, The Cloud of the Unknowing. We reviewed this very highly on our site. Maybe I'll unbox it on my other show. I got this, since the new Elder is about to come out, I got this previous Elder album, Reflections of a Floating World, double LP. Absolutely killer. This is from Retroactive Records, also in Sassoon, right down the block from the comic shop. Love those guys. And then a couple of weeks ago on the news, I told you a story about 20 Watt Tombstone having to cancel some of their tour stuff. So I bought this vinyl. This is their last record, The Chosen Few. And I'm just a huge fan of that band. It came with this insert and handwritten lyrics. Because you can't really make them out too good because the light is out, but handwritten lyrics to one of the songs on The Chosen Few. And then last and not least, one more vinyl. Sorry I didn't get to open these, but this is the brand new album from Failure, Location Lost. And this is out now. And I am a huge Failure fan. I don't know if my fiance is still awake, but maybe heard me singing possibly at the top of my lungs to sing The Nurse Who Loved Me while I was getting ready to do the show. And that is the show in a very reasonable hour and 11 minutes late at night here on a Friday morning. Have a good weekend, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate you all. And don't drink and drive. Be safe this weekend if you're going out to festivals or shows. Help people. Be a good citizen of metal and the world. Show people that metalheads are not assholes. Because a lot of people think we're just crazy guys. This light is just fucked. All right. Anyway, I'm going to see myself out. Have a great weekend. More Ghost Cult tomorrow. Peace.